Socialization. Social connections are essential for human well-being, not simply because it's fun to spend time with friends. Social engagement and experiencing social behavior are crucial for children's growth. It is thought that people need 5 to 6 hours of social engagement each day to feel well adjusted. However, many children cannot engage in or experience the social behavior that is essential for their development, mental health, and well-being for various reasons. There are several ways in which the lack of social interactions and behavior might impact a child's development. For instance, prior research has shown that socially isolated children are more likely to experience psychological discomfort as adults and have poorer educational achievement and maturity. It should be made clear that being alone and being lonely are very different. Loneliness can still have an extensive effect on children's well-being because it is a fundamental human need. The body will interpret social isolation as a threat. The body will release several stress hormones while the stress response is active to safeguard the body. For instance, loneliness triggers a persistent low-level inflammatory response with potentially higher cholesterol levels and other stress hormones. Prolonged activation of the stress response reduces levels of brain-derived neurotrophic factor, BDNF, a protein essential for cognition, memory, and neural function. This raises the risk of cardiovascular disease, hypertension, infectious disease, and cognitive decline. These are the psychological effects of a long-term stress vulnerability, which is commonly seen in their adulthood. Studies on social isolation have also shown that the development of the brain structure in psychological and cognitive functioning is adversely affected by the lack of social contact. The oligodendrocyte cell type has communication change deficiencies causing poor neuron-to-neuron transmission within the prefrontal cortex. Social connections is necessary for the prefrontal cortex to develop for these cells to operate. Planning, abstract reasoning, and social interactions are just a few of the cognitive processes in the prefrontal cortex of the brain. Some researchers believe that young children may also experience abnormalities in these brain regions if the development of these cells and areas are interrupted. In conclusion, loneliness has been linked to everything from a higher risk of heart disease and hypertension to a lowered immune system. Being alone might make it easier to become sick and remain sick for longer. Sociable people are, therefore, more likely to be healthy, happier, less likely to miss work due to sickness, and more likely to achieve academic success.